Hello, welcome to this episode of Rich Insights. I'm Don Rich, the Chief of Investments for Esoterica Capital Management. Today's topic is shock and awe appears to be near, right? Shock and awe appears to be near. This is a big step for me, right? I haven't had this opinion since this crisis started here about a little over 3 weeks ago. All right, so let's go to the charts right away, and I'll talk you through my thinking. This is a Bloomberg chart of the price of commodities, the price of copper. All right, the price of copper. So throughout most of this turmoil, the price of copper has been bouncing around. All right, the price of copper has been bouncing around. Essentially, copper has been telling us the same story that we were getting out of the White House. All right? And that is that the coronavirus is a speed bump. Right? It's a short-term hiccup. Don't get too excited about it. But the last 3 days, we've seen what I'm calling acceptance. Acceptance of the severity of the virus. Acceptance of the global slowdown that's going to accompany it. We are seeing capitulation, right? People being forced out of their positions, right? Just get me out, sort of thing. So you're saying to yourself, why is that a good thing? Hell, fat man, I can show you 20, 50 charts that are falling off a cliff. Why are you getting excited about this one? Well, for two reasons. One is copper had been holding in until the last 2 or 3 days. Right? It had just been oscillating around, but not falling off the cliff until the last 2 or 3 days. And the other reason is that copper is often said to have a PhD in economics. Right? The reason for that is if you think of any residential construction or industrial construction, copper is a key component. Right? You got copper pipes, copper fittings, and so on. When it comes to electronics, you also need copper. All right? So generally, as the price of copper goes, the global economy goes. So I'm seeing acceptance of the severity of this coronavirus. I'm seeing acceptance in the marketplace that to kill the virus, we've got to kill the economy. All right? To get out in front of the virus, we've got to go through this period of isolationism, which is going to bring economic activity to a screeching halt. It is going to kill the economy for a short-term basis. Now, that acceptance isn't only in copper. What about the tremendous change in attitude coming out of the White House in the last day or so? What about the tremendous shift we're seeing out of Britain? They're taking this thing serious for the first time, in my opinion. All right, so I said shock and awe appears to be near. Let's walk through that. Well, coming up to this point, what have we had to deal with? Well, the first thing was that while there was a huge decline in the demand for oil, some genius got the idea that it would be a good time to increase the supply of oil like never before. That's going to go down in history as one of the best decisions ever made. All right. Now, on top of that, we've also had proposals that we were going to forgive student loan interest payments. Not the principal, right? Not loan forgiveness, but the interest payments, right? As if college students were somehow disproportionately affected by this virus. Yeah, that was a great idea. Yeah, and to accompany that, we were going to increase our strategic petroleum reserves of oil to combat the virus. Wow, somebody should have had their career opportunities freed up after that brilliant idea, huh? But all that's changed, right? We've been dealing with nothing but nonsense until yesterday, right? And I think yesterday was huge. All right, so what happened yesterday? We had the Federal Reserve added yet another credit facility, all right, on top of everything they have. So all the dislocations that we're seeing in the marketplace today, right, all of the difficulty that companies are experiencing as they try to attain cash are going to go away very quickly, right? I know the markets are down sharp again today, but I think very quickly people are going to realize that the plumbing is back in place, right? If you want credit, you can have credit. The Fed, the amount of liquidity, the amount of credit that the Federal Reserve is pumping into the system is really unbelievable. It's available for everyone at any time for essentially any amount. And they're not going to stop there either. My guess is they're going to increase the swap lines to more and more countries. All right? We're going to very quickly fix the liquidity problems that we're experiencing. Now, on top of that, what else are we getting out of the White House and Congress yesterday? For the first time, we're hearing about some meaningful stimulus package, right? On the order of $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. All right. Now, some of the highlights there, they're talking about helicopter money, sending $1,000 or more to each adult individual to pay the mortgage, pay the rent, to buy groceries, to try to deal with this economic hardship. All right, that's huge. That's a meaningful first step. Talking about extending loans directly to small businesses, right? Getting them bridge loans, getting them the liquidity they need to get over this gap. That's huge as well. Talking about payroll tax deduction, right? So we're talking about things that are targeting individuals, targeting the large corporations, targeting the small firms, right? Taking on this multi-frontal assault all at once. This is what I'm getting excited about. That's what I'm getting excited about. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking a horse that shits fast doesn't shit long. No truer words were ever spoken. And it's true. This administration has a history of overpromising and under-delivering. So I don't want to get too excited yet. But if they come close to delivering anywhere near the package that's being proposed, I think markets are going to settle down here very quickly. All right? So what does all this mean? All right? What does all this mean? First of all, I want to provide a caution. If you're not a professional investor right now, I think it's a terribly dangerous time in the marketplace. But what I expect is we are in this downward channel, right? That's the way I see things. We're in this downward channel. But I think we are very close to the bottom or the depths of the first downturn, right? In this downward channel, we're going to experience a series of waves. And we're going to talk a lot more about these waves tomorrow. But the important thing for today is I think we're very close to being at the depths of this first wave. I think in the next few days, the marketplace is going to come to realize that if this fiscal package is passed and disseminated, along with the activities of the Fed, the ship has stopped taking on water. All right, and I think that's meaningful. I think that's meaningful in the short term. All right, so that's our message for today. You've just experienced a rich insight. I'm Don Rich. I hope you enjoyed this. May your beer be colder than the company you keep. Thank you.